The marketplace was loud and full of life. Merchants shouted about fresh fruit, glowing crystals, and weapons made from alien steel. But in the corner, away from the noise, sat a girl no one wanted to notice. She was young, maybe 17, with pale green skin that shimmered faintly under the twin suns. Her hair was messy, long and silver, like it had not been brushed for weeks. She wore torn clothes, too big for her thin frame. But the most striking thing about her was her leg, or rather, the missing one. Her right leg ended at the knee, covered by dirty bandages. Beside her, written on a small board in broken letters, were the words, "For sale. Price, 1 prosthetic leg." The girl's name was Arya. She sat there, hugging her knees, watching the crowd with tired eyes. Every few minutes, someone would glance at her, then quickly turn away. Some laughed cruelly. Some whispered, "Broken thing. Half-breed alien. Useless." Arya lowered her head. She had heard those words too many times. Still, she waited. She needed a leg to walk again, to run again, to feel like she was alive. But she had no money, no family, no hope. So she put herself up for sale. "If someone buys me," she whispered. To herself, "maybe they will give me a leg. Maybe they will give me a reason to live." Hours passed. The suns moved across the sky. Dust blew across the marketplace. Still, no one came. A group of boys stopped nearby, pointing at her. "Look at her," one said. "She thinks someone will actually want her." Another laughed. "Not even for free. Who wants a broken alien girl?" They threw a small stone at her. It hit her shoulder, but she didn't cry. She just turned her face away. The crowd moved on. But then, footsteps. A shadow fell across her. She lifted her eyes slowly. It was a man. He wore a long black coat, dusty from travel. His face was half hidden under the hood, but his jaw was sharp, his expression cold. His boots were heavy, and when he stopped, the ground seemed to feel his presence. For a long moment, he just stared at her. Arya's heart pounded. Was he another cruel person? Another stranger who would laugh at her? She wanted to look away, but she couldn't. Finally, he spoke. His voice was low, almost like a growl. "You are for sale." Arya swallowed and nodded. "Yes, 1 prosthetic leg." The man tilted his head, studying her. His eyes were strange to calm, to calculating. "Why would anyone buy you?" He asked. The words cut deep, but Arya forced herself to answer. "Because I can work. I can clean, cook, I learn fast. I'm not useless. I just need a leg." The man's lips curved into something that was not quite a smile. Around them, people began whispering. Some laughed again. Is he really thinking about buying her? Arya felt her chest tighten. Hope flickered, but fear burned brighter. The man reached into his coat and pulled out a heavy bag of credits. He dropped it on the merchant's table with a thud. The sound made everyone nearby stop and look. "I'll take her," he said simply. The merchant's eyes widened. "You're serious? You want that girl?" The man didn't answer. He just looked at Arya again. The merchant shrugged, took the money, and waved his hand. "She's yours. Take her away before people start laughing at me for selling broken goods." Arya's body froze. She couldn't move. She had been bought. The man bent slightly, his voice low so only she could hear. "You are not broken," he said. "You are exactly what I need." Arya's breath caught. What did he mean? Why would he say that? The man straightened and gestured with his hand. "Come." Arya looked down at her single leg, at her weak body. I can't walk." Fast, he didn't reply. Instead, he reached down and lifted her easily into his arms. Gasps filled the marketplace. People stared, some in shock, some in disgust. "The broken alien girl has been bought," someone whispered. But why? As the man carried her away, Arya's mind raced. Part of her was scared. Who was this stranger? Why did he want her? What did he mean when he said she was not broken? But another part of her deep hidden felt a spark of something she hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. The crowd faded behind them. The dust of the market swirled, and as the man walked toward the edge of the city, carrying her in silence, Arya realized her life was about to change, but she had no idea how dark and how dangerous that change would be. The city lights faded. Behind them, the man carried Arya through empty streets until they reached the landing docks. Rows of ships slept there like giant metal beasts, their engines quiet, their wings folded. He walked with calm steps, never looking back, never speaking. Arya stayed silent in his arms. She could feel the steady beat of his heart, but his eyes, cold, sharp, always forward, felt like stone. At the edge of the dock stood his ship. It was not like the others. Smaller, darker, built for speed. Its metal skin was scratched by old battles, and strange symbols were carved along the side. The man lowered her gently onto the ramp. She tried to balance on her one leg, but stumbled. Before she could fall, his hand caught her arm. His grip was strong, almost too strong, but steady. "You will not fall," he said. His voice was calm, but it carried a weight, like he was giving an order that the universe itself must obey. Arya stared at him. "Why did you buy me?" she whispered. He didn't answer. Instead, he guided her inside the ship. The doors hissed shut behind them, sealing the two of them away from the world. Inside, the ship was different from what she expected. It was not polished or bright. It was dark, filled with humming machines and glowing screens. Wires crawled across the floor like snakes, and jars of strange blue liquid lined the walls. The air smelled of oil, metal, and something else, something sharp and alien. Arya shivered. This was not a normal trader ship. This was something else. The man moved to the control panel and pressed a sequence of buttons. The ship came alive, engines roaring. Through the window, the city grew smaller and smaller until it vanished into the night sky. Arya sat in the corner, hugging her knees. She wanted to ask questions, but the words stuck in her throat. She didn't trust him. Not yet. Finally, he turned to her. "My name is Kale," he said. "And you are not broken." Arya blinked. The words struck her again, the same ones he had whispered in the market. "I am broken," she said softly. "I can't even walk. No one wants me." Kale's gaze was steady. "No one wanted you because they could not see what I see." Her heart beat faster. "What do you see?" He walked closer, kneeling down so his eyes met hers. For the first time, she saw his face clearly. His skin was pale from years in the shadows. A scar ran from his eyebrow to his cheek, sharp and ugly, proof of battles survived. His eyes were gray, stormy, and unreadable. "I see the key," he said. Arya frowned. "The key to what?" Kale stood again, walking toward a door at the back of the ship. He tapped a code, and the door slid open with a hiss. "Come," he said. Arya hesitated. Fear coiled in her stomach, but curiosity pulled stronger. She limped. After him, leaning on the walls for balance, the door led into a new chamber. Her breath caught. It was a laboratory. Machines filled the room, tall cylinders glowing with green liquid. Sharp tools laid out on metal tables, broken parts of strange technology scattered everywhere. But in the center, on a pedestal, lay something that made her chest tighten. A leg, not just a leg, a prosthetic. Sleek, silver, with glowing veins of blue running across it like lightning trapped in metal. It looked alive, like it was breathing. Arya's eyes widened. "Is that for me?" Kale's lips curved slightly. Yes, but it is not just a leg. It is a weapon. She froze. Weapon? I don't understand. He walked around the pedestal, circling her like a predator studying prey. This is alien war tech, found on a battlefield long ago. It needs a host with alien blood to survive. Every human who tried to use it died. Every alien who tried burned. He stopped in front of her. His eyes locked on hers. But you, half human, half alien, you are different. You are the one. Arya's body shook. That's why you bought me, not because you wanted to help me, but because you need me. Kale didn't deny it. I do not waste kindness. I do not waste money. I invest. And you are the most valuable thing I have ever bought. Her chest tightened. Fear, anger, but also something else, hope. If this was real, if the leg could truly give her strength, maybe she wouldn't be weak anymore. Maybe she wouldn't be broken. But Kale's next words froze her blood. Once the leg is attached, there is no going back. It will become part of you. It will change you. It will give you power, but it will take something in return. Arya's voice trembled. Take. What? Kale leaned closer, his voice a whisper in her ear. Your freedom. Arya's heart pounded. The prosthetic glowed brighter, like it was waiting for her. She wanted to run, but she had nowhere to go. She wanted to refuse, but her whole life had been pain and weakness. She looked at Kale, at the scar on his face, at the storm in his eyes. Was he saving her or using her? Her hand reached out, trembling, toward the glowing leg. The room was silent, but Arya felt the silence breathing. The laboratory did not feel like a place built by human hands. The walls hummed faintly, as if alive. Strange symbols glowed across the metal, shifting like they were written by something not of this world. Arya's eyes locked on the silver prosthetic leg. It rested on the pedestal like a sleeping beast. Blue light pulsed through its veins, slow and steady, almost like a heartbeat. Her hand hovered above it. She could feel warmth radiating from the metal, even though it should have been cold. Kale's voice broke the silence. Touch it. Arya's throat tightened. What will happen if I do? Kale didn't blink. It will wake up. Her heart pounded. Every instinct screamed at her to run, but her single leg betrayed her. She could not run, not without help. Not without this, so she reached out. The moment her fingers brushed the smooth surface, the leg shuddered. The blue veins flared with light. The pedestal hissed, releasing steam. Arya yanked her hand back, but it was too late. The prosthetic had already awakened. It began to move. The toes flexed, the knee bent. The entire thing twisted, turning its glowing gaze toward her like a predator noticing prey. Arya stumbled backward, fear rushing through her chest. It's alive. Kale stepped closer, his scar catching the blue glow. Not alive, but not dead either. It was built to bond. It is waiting. For you? Arya shook her head. No, I don't want this. Feels wrong. Kale's eyes were sharp. Do you want to crawl through life forever? Do you want to keep sitting in the dirt, waiting for someone's pity? This is your chance, Arya. Power is never free, but it is always worth the cost. Her breath caught. His words stabbed deep. He was cruel, but he was not wrong. Arya looked at the leg again. The glow seemed to pulse in rhythm with her heartbeat. She felt as if it was calling her, whispering, "Choose me." Kale pressed a sequence of buttons on a nearby console. The pedestal split open, releasing the prosthetic into his hands. He carried it carefully, like a weapon that could turn on its master. When he placed it near her, Arya felt the air shift. The laboratory grew colder. The walls hummed louder. This will hurt, Kale said quietly. It must fuse with your flesh and bone. Once it binds, there is no separation. It becomes you. Arya's lips trembled. Ali, and if I refuse? Kale leaned closer, his voice like steel. Then you stay broken. Silence hung heavy. Finally. Arya whispered, do it. Kale moved with precision, strapping her to a chair in the center of the room. Restraints locked around her arms, not out of cruelty, but out of necessity. The prosthetic leg floated above the stump of her missing limb. Thin, needle-like tendrils uncoiled from its edges, reaching for her skin like fingers. Arya's chest rose and fell rapidly. It looks like it wants to eat me. Kale's voice was calm. Not eat. Bond. The tendrils struck. Pain exploded through her body. Arya screamed, her voice echoing through the laboratory. The leg latched onto her flesh, drilling, fusing. Merging, blue light spread through her veins, crawling up her thigh, her stomach, her chest. Her vision blurred. She saw flashes, alien landscapes burning, soldiers screaming, ships falling from the sky. Memories that were not hers. She cried out, struggling against the restraints. The leg pulled tighter, its glow burning brighter. Stay awake, Kale barked. Do not let it consume you. Arya gasped, tears streaming down her face. It's killing me. Kale slammed his hand against the console, sending a surge of power through the prosthetic. The leg convulsed, then locked into place. The pain stopped. Arya's breathing slowed. Her eyes widened. She could feel it. The leg was part of her now. It was heavy but light, metal but flesh, alien but hers. Slowly, she moved her toes. They obeyed. She bent her knee. The motion was smooth, powerful, stronger than any human limb. She stood. For the first time in years, she stood. Her heart raced. She took one step, then another. She didn't stumble. She didn't fall. She was walking again. Arya laughed, a sound mixed with joy and disbelief. I can walk. I can really walk. But the laugh died quickly, because the leg twitched on its own. Her foot slammed against the floor without her command. The sound echoed like thunder. Her body jerked as the prosthetic dragged her a step forward. Her smile faded. Kale, it's moving by itself. Kale's face was unreadable. I told you, it is not just a leg, it has instincts. It was built. For war, you must control it, or it will control you. Arya's blood ran cold. She looked down at the glowing metal attached to her body. It felt strong, yes, but it also felt alive, like it was watching her, waiting. And in that moment, she realized she had not just been given a leg, she had been given something dangerous, something that could destroy her, or make her unstoppable. Night fell on Kale's ship. The stars outside stretched like silver dust across the dark sky. But inside, Arya could not sleep. She lay on a thin bed in a small chamber. Her new leg glowed faintly in the dark, a pulse of blue light beating in rhythm with her heart. Every time she closed her eyes, she felt it humming, whispering through her veins. At first, she thought it was just her imagination, but then she heard it, a voice, soft, cold, inside her head. Move, run, fight. Arya gasped, sitting up. She pressed her hands against her ears, but the voice was not coming from outside. It was coming from inside. From the leg, her breathing grew fast. Stop. Please stop. The leg twitched. Her foot slammed against the metal floor with a heavy thud. She hadn't moved it. It had moved itself. Arya's heart raced. She tried to hold her thigh still, but the prosthetic jerked again. Dragging her a step forward, the whisper grew louder. You are not weak. You are a weapon. Use me. Arya shook her head violently. No. I don't want this. I don't want to hurt anyone. The leg pulsed with light. Lies. You want power? You want to stand. You want to be more than prey. Her chest tightened. Deep inside, the voice was right. She had been prey all her life, mocked, broken, unwanted. But this power, it was dangerous. Before she could answer, the door slid open. Cale stepped in, his coat brushing the frame. His storm-gray eyes studied her. You heard it? Arya froze. You knew. He nodded. The prosthetic carries fragments of its creators. It remembers the war. It remembers violence. It will test you. If you cannot control it, it will consume you. Arya's voice trembled. Then why give it to me? Why curse me with this? Cale's face was hard. Because you asked for it. You wanted to walk. You wanted a reason to live. Power always comes with a price. She glared at him. I wanted a leg, not a monster inside my head. Cale didn't. Flinch, then tame the monster, or let it tame you. The next morning, Cale led her to the ship's training chamber. The floor was wide and metallic, marked with scratches from old battles. He tossed her a metal staff. Fight me. Arya caught it awkwardly, gripping it tight. I can't. I don't even know how. Cale drew his own weapona, curved blade, glowing with faint red energy. He pointed it at her. You will learn. He charged. Arya gasped, raising the staff just in time. The clash rang through the chamber, her arms trembling under the force. Cale struck again and again, faster each time. At first, she stumbled. Her movements were clumsy, weak. But then, the leg moved. Her body surged with power. She jumped higher than she thought possible, dodging Cale's strike. She landed hard, the floor cracking beneath her prosthetic foot. Her eyes widened. She felt strong, unstoppable. The leg whispered again. Yes, faster. Strike back. Break him. Arya spun, swinging the staff with unnatural speed. Cale barely blocked it, his blade sparking against the metal. He smiled faintly. Good. You are waking up. Arya's chest heaved, half in fear, half in thrill. She could feel the power flooding her muscles, guiding her, pushing her to fight. She struck again and again, each blow stronger, faster. The staff whistled through the air, her movements no longer clumsy, but sharp. Deadly dot Cale blocked, but she forced him back step by step. The leg pulsed brighter. Kill. Prove you are not prey. Arya's vision blurred. She raised the staff high, aiming for Cale's head. Then she froze. Her own voice screamed inside. No, I don't want to kill him. She stopped the strike an inch from his face, her whole body trembling. The staff slipped from her hands and clattered to the floor. Arya fell to her knees, gasping. The leg twitched angrily, slamming against the floor like it was alive. Cale lowered his blade. His eyes burned into hers. You are stronger than I. Thought most would have given in. Tears welled in Arya's eyes. I almost did. Cale knelt, placing a hand on her shoulder. That is the truth of power. It tempts, it demands. But it only owns you if you let it. Arya stared at him, still shaking. The voice in her leg whispered softly now, almost like a purr. You cannot ignore me forever. She knew it was right. The power was inside her now, whether she liked it or not. That night, Arya lay awake again, staring at the glowing veins in her new limb. She could not deny the truth. The leg gave her strength. It gave her the power to stand, to fight, to survive. But it also carried a hunger, a voice, a shadow. And shadows always wanted more. The ship drifted in silence. Stars burned cold outside the window, endless and empty. But inside, Arya's mind was not quiet. The leg whispered in her dreams. It showed her fire and war. It showed her soldiers running, ships burning, and entire worlds screaming. Sometimes the voice was sharp, commanding her to fight. Sometimes it was soft, almost gentle, telling her she was chosen. She woke each time with sweat on her skin and blue light flickering across her prosthetic. When morning, Kale was waiting. He stood near the control panel, his scarred face half in shadow. His eyes carried the weight of someone who had seen too many battles. "You've lasted longer than I expected," he said. Arya frowned. "What do you mean?" Tail's hand brushed. Across the screen, images appeared, holograms of broken bodies, soldiers lying still, machines melted into flesh. All of them had worn prosthetics like hers. "Others tried before you," Kale said coldly. "Humans, aliens. They all failed. The bond killed them. Their minds cracked. Their bodies burned. You are the first to survive." Arya's stomach turned as she looked at the broken faces of the dead. "You used people. Like experiments." Kale did not flinch. "War leaves no room for softness. I needed a host. The galaxy needed one. And now, I have you." Arya's voice shook. "So that's why you bought me. Not because you wanted to save me, but because you wanted to use me." Kale's eyes narrowed. "I saved you because you were useful. That is more than anyone else ever gave you." The words stung. They were cruel, but true. No one else had offered her anything, not a chance, not even pity. Only Kale had. But still, his kindness was sharp as a blade. Arya looked down at her glowing leg. "Why me? Why am I the one who can survive?" Kale turned to face her fully. "Because you are both human and alien. Two bloodlines, two worlds. The prosthetic accepts you because you are a bridge. Not pure human, not pure alien. Something." Arya's chest tightened. "And what am I supposed to do with this?" "Just fight your battles." Kale's gaze was steady, unblinking. "Not just mine. The galaxy's." He tapped another button. A new hologram appeared. Massive warships, black as shadow, filled the stars. They looked alive, their hulls breathing like skin. Their eyes glowed red, staring into the void. "The Dominion," Kale said softly. His voice carried both hate and fear. "They are coming. Worlds burn when they arrive. Cities vanish. They consume everything. They are why this weapon exists." Arya's hands trembled. The leg pulsed faster, almost like it recognized the enemy. Kale pointed at her. "You are the first weapon strong enough to face them. You are not broken, Arya. You are the key to survival." She shook her head violently. "No, I didn't ask for this. I never wanted to fight in your war." Kale stepped closer, his voice like iron. "You didn't choose the war chose you." Before Arya could answer, alarms blared across the ship. Red lights flashed. The console screamed. Kale snapped his head toward the screen. "They found us." Arya's stomach dropped. "Who?" Through the window, dark shapes appeared. Smaller ships, fast and sharp, swarmed like hunting dogs. Their lights glowed the same crimson as the warships in the hologram. The Dominion had arrived. Kale cursed under his breath. "They want you." Arya's blood ran cold. "Me? Why?" Kale's jaw tightened. "Because they know what you are. They know you are the only one who can use the weapon. To them, you are not a girl. You are a prize, a tool to turn against us." The ship shook violently as enemy fire struck its hull. Sparks rained from the ceiling. Kale grabbed her arm. "Listen to me, you must fight. If they take you, the galaxy is lost." Arya's heart pounded. The leg burned hot, humming louder than ever. The voice inside whispered, "Yes, fight. Destroy. Them, claim your place." She clenched her fists. She didn't want to fight. She didn't want to be a weapon. But outside, the ships closed in and the alarms screamed like death itself. Kale shoved a blaster into her hand. "Choose now, Arya. Live as prey, or fight as something greater." Her hands shook. She stared at the weapon. She stared at her. Glowing leg? She stared at Kale, and in that moment, the truth cut through her fear like a blade. She was not broken, but she was no longer free either. The ship jolted again. The Dominion ships were boarding. Heavy thuds echoed through the hull soldiers. Landing, claws scraping against metal. Kale raised his blade, his voice sharp. "They are coming. Stand with me, Arya, or fall to them." Arya's breath came in gasps. The leg pulsed like a heartbeat, faster, stronger, hungrier. She stood slowly, gripping the blaster tight. The whispers in her head grew louder, almost. Screaming now, yes, let them come. Tear them apart. The metal doors split apart with a deafening blast. Smoke and sparks filled the corridor as Dominion soldiers stormed inside. They did not look human. Their armor was alive, black plates that shifted and pulsed like breathing skin. Their helmets had no face, thinly glowing red eyes that burned like fire in the dark. Their claws clanged against the floor as they moved. The first soldier raised its weapon, pointing straight at Arya. Its voice was cold, mechanical, but alive at the same time. "Target located. She is the weapon. Capture alive." Arya froze. The words pierced her deeper than any blade. She was not a person to them. She was not even an enemy. She was a prize. Kale stepped in front of her, his blade glowing red. His voice was steel. "Over my dead body." The Dominion soldiers hissed in unison, then charged. The battle exploded in chaos. Kale moved like a shadow, his blade slicing through the first soldier's chest. Sparks and blood sprayed across the floor. He spun, striking another, but the swarm pushed forward. Arya stood frozen, blaster in hand, her breath sharp and fast. She couldn't do it. It never killed anyone before. But then her leg moved. It slammed into the ground, the force cracking the metal floor. The shockwave knocked two soldiers back. Arya gasped. She hadn't commanded it. The leg had acted on its own. The voice inside whispered, "Yes, fight. Use me. Break them." Arya raised the blaster with trembling hands. A soldier lunged at her. She fired. The shot tore through its chest, sending it crashing to the floor. Her hands shook, her stomach turned. But her leg burned with energy, hungry for more. Another soldier charged. Arya dodged faster than she thought possible. Her prosthetic kicked out, smashing into the creature's helmet. The armor cracked. The soldier fell limp. Arya's eyes widened. She was strong. Too strong. Kale's voice cut through the chaos. "Good. Don't stop now." But the voice in her head was louder. "More. Don't just defend. Destroy them all." The battle raged on. Dominion soldiers poured through the door like a black tide. Kale fought with skill, his blade carving glowing arcs in the air. But for every one he struck down, two more pushed forward. Arya felt the power rising inside her. Each movement of her leg was faster, sharper, deadlier. She leaped into the air, higher than human limits, crashing down with enough force to shatter the floor. Soldiers screamed as they were thrown back. She turned, her blaster firing again and again, each shot precise. Her heart raced not only with fear, but with something darker, excitement. For the first time in her life, she was not weak. For the first time, she was feared. But then she caught her reflection in a broken shard of armor. Her eyes glowed faint blue. Just like the prosthetic, her breath caught. Am I still me, or am I becoming it? The hesitation cost her. A Dominion soldier slammed into her from the side, its claws digging into her arm. "Ah!" she screamed, struggling. Kale roared, cutting the soldier down. He grabbed Arya by the shoulder. Focus. Don't let it control you. Arya gasped for air, her leg twitching violently. It wanted to fight. It wanted blood. She clenched her fists. I'm trying. More soldiers stormed in. The ship groaned under their weight. Kale's movements slowed. He was strong, but even he was tiring. One soldier shouted, "Secure the weapon." And 3 lunged at Arya at once. Her leg reacted before she could. Blue energy surged out, blasting in a wave that knocked all 3 across the room. Their armor smoked, their bodies twisted. Arya collapsed to her knees, panting. The glow around. Her legs spread up her body now, crawling across her veins like fire. Kale's eyes widened. The fusion is advancing too fast. Arya looked at her hands, glowing faintly with the same light. Terror gripped her chest. What's happening to me? Before Kale could answer, the ship shook violently. An explosion thundered outside. Dominion had sent a larger vessel, docking against them. Kale cursed. We can't hold them here. They'll tear the ship apart. Arya's voice cracked. Then what do we do? Kale looked at her, his face grim but certain. We fight our way out, together. Another wave of soldiers stormed through the burning door. Their red eyes locked on Arya. One pointed a claw at her and shouted, "The weapon must not escape." Arya felt her leg hum like a war drum. The voice screamed louder than ever. Yes. Don't escape. Kill them. All of them. Her chest heaved. Sweat poured down her face. She raised the blaster in one hand, clenched her prosthetic into a fist with the other, and for the first time she screamed back at the voice. I am not your weapon. She charged. The chamber erupted in fire, light, and blood. Kale fought at her side, but Arya's power stole the battlefield. Every movement of her leg was devastating. Every strike was lethal. The Dominion soldiers faltered. They had expected prey. Instead, they had found something else, something unstoppable. The battlefield inside the ship was silent at last. Dominion soldiers lay scattered across the floor. Their armor cracked, their glowing red eyes dim forever. The air stank of smoke, blood, and burning metal. Sparks rained from broken wires above, painting the room in flashes of orange dot. Arya stood in the center, chest heaving, her prosthetic leg pulsing with light so bright it made her skin glow. Her hands shook, her eyes burned blue. She looked less like a girl, and more like a star wearing human skin. Kale lowered his blade, staring at her in awe. But there was fear to fear, hidden in the corners of his storm-gray eyes. You, he whispered. You are more than I imagined, more than even I hoped. Arya's gaze snapped to him, sharp as a blade. And what am I to you, Kale? A soldier, a weapon, or just a tool you can control? Kale hesitated. For once, he had no answer. The leg twitched beneath her, hungry, restless. The voice inside. Her head screamed louder than ever now. Fight, rule, burn the weak. You are not prey. You are power. Take your place. Arya clutched her head, her teeth clenched. Stop it. Get out of me. Kale stepped forward. Arya, listen to me. You are stronger than it. You proved it back there. But the war is not over. The Dominion will return, and when they do, only you can stand against them. Arya's eyes glowed brighter, tears streaming down her cheeks. I never asked for this. I just wanted a leg. I just wanted to live. Kale's voice hardened. And now you must choose. Live small and die with the rest, or rise and change the galaxy. Arya's heart pounded. She looked at the bodies around her, at the blood on her hands, at the glowing veins crawling up her skin. Was this living, or was this just another kind of prison? The ship shook violently. Outside, massive shadows loomed. The Dominion warship had arrived. Through the cracked window, Arya saw it, a giant beast of metal and flesh, alive and terrible, its red eyes staring directly at her. Kale gripped his blade tighter. They're here for you. They won't stop. Not until you're theirs. Arya felt the prosthetic burn hotter, feeding on her fear, her anger. The voice purred now, seductive. Why run? Why hide? You are stronger than them, stronger than him. Claim your throne. The galaxy is already yours. Her breath came fast. She turned to Kale. If I fight them, if I use this power, will I even be me anymore? Kale's eyes softened for the first time. That is not for me to answer. That is the choice only you can make. The warship outside charged its weapons. Red light bled across the stars. The Dominion was preparing to fire. Kale looked at her with urgency. Arya, decide. Stand with me or run. But if you run, they will hunt you forever. Arya clenched her fists, her body trembling. Inside her head, two voices clashed. Her own voice, I am not a weapon. I am not a monster. And the prosthetics voice, you are more than human, more than alien. You are destiny itself. Slowly, Arya walked to the broken window. She stared at the giant warship, its red glow reflecting in her blue eyes. Her leg pulsed. Her whole body glowing brighter now, like a living star. She whispered, almost to herself, I was never for sale. I was never broken. I decide who I am. Kale's breath caught Arya. What are you doing? She turned. Her face unreadable, half human, half something more. Making my choice. Outside, the Dominion ship fired. A massive beam of red energy tore through space, racing toward Kale's ship. Arya stepped forward. Her prosthetic leg slammed into the ground, the glow erupting through her body like a storm. She raised her hand, her veins blazing blue, and the beam stopped in mid-space. Kale's eyes widened in shock. Impossible. Arya's hair whipped around her face, her eyes blazing brighter than the sun's. She wasn't just holding the Dominion's weapon back. She was pushing it back toward them. The warship shuddered under its own fire. Cracks spread across its living hull. It screamed, a sound not mechanical but alive and terrible. Kale shielded his eyes from the light. Arya, stop. You'll burn yourself. But Arya stood tall, her voice carrying like thunder. No, I'm done being prey. I'm done being bought. Choose my own price, and they will pay it. The warship exploded in a storm of fire and shadow. Silence followed. Arya collapsed to her knees, glowing faintly, her breath shallow. The prosthetic leg pulsed weakly, like a tired heart. Kale rushed to her, catching her before she fell. Arya, are you still? You? Her glowing eyes opened slowly. She smiled faintly. I don't know.